Hey guys, how to get a Black Fang here, bringing you a review on 123 and 124. Sorry about the 123 review of last week. I just did not have any time. Also, I had technical difficulties when I did go to do the review. So let's get into 123. Alright, the whole episode basically is Chicago getting over his little bitch fit inside, that little room with all the monitors. And then out of nowhere, Wolfen pops out of nowhere because he's seen everything apparently. And they get into like this little altercation. I'm calling it little because that's literally what it is throughout this entire episode. It's just bullshit between him and Chicago. So, Chicago, shoots, actually pulls the trigger. Yes, shoots Wolfen. And Wolfen is, injured now. Mind you, Wolfen had already put up his bluff, which is like what I like to call, where he pulls out that little technique of his with the missiles. The same one he used on Miller Room. But never got to really fire it, but when he does get to fire it, finds out it's a bluff, and actually it's just like a little side thing for him to implant these things called the black centipedes. So Chicago the whole time discover what these black centipedes are for, and how like they're poisonous, but if you get a Chicago to start to feel weak, these centipedes won't really harm him. So the whole time Chicago is making Wolfen feel weak, right? Making him feel like, making him tell the truth and feel cowardly. And the centipedes just slowly, like, start to, like, I want to say, like, stop effing with his head. Yeah, let's use that. Then, out of nowhere, Chicago gets Wolfen to talk about his past. How he talks about how he actually has memories from when he was human, what he was here for, and that he actually just wants to see his brother again. Not his blood brother, but his brother again. And right now, I believe his brother is the king, I think that's what he's trying to say, because he's saying the king is having all his brothers, what should I say, traits, like the whole shyness and stays to himself and like, just does him. So at the end of episode 123, it ends with Chicago going freely to find Palm. Wolfen thanks Chicago for actually letting him tell the truth and actually talks about how it feels good. Wolfen's like, not an enemy anymore, but he's going off to do his own thing and try to like, heal himself, so because he's in a shitty state. Chicago like loaded like a full clip on him like multiple times. But that wasn't the big filler. Well, not filler, like the big situation of this episode. At the end, you discover what Palm turns into, and it's true, guys. Palm is a chimera, and that's just how it happens. Shit happens. Gotta get over it. So let's get into 124. Well, 124 starts off where you see Kahlua actually continuing to charge himself. It's kind of weird because it's like 2 episodes now. So he's been charging himself for the past 2 episodes. Finally gets his charge. Starts running, heading up to go do what he said he was going to do, which was help Gon. Gets stuck in a little pickle because if you remember from last episode, Palm just showed herself and she is now, roaming the halls of the palace. And they encounter each other. Kahlua thinks Palm's still in her regular state of mind at first. Turns out she's not. So Kahlua finds that out, that she's actually just hoodwinking him because she's about to destroy the shit out of him. So get into a little battle because she constantly questions Kahlua about, hey, where the hell's going? And he's not telling her, to get in this fight. Kalua's getting his ass handed to him the whole entire time because she used this ability that, since she's an enhancer, she enhanced her hair to become armor around herself, which was kind of crazy. It was kind of dope. It's called Black Widow, and basically you just get to see the new improved Palm in action. So you go through this whole thing about how Kahlua is not trying to let go and see Palm the way she really is, because that will really cause him to snap. He's already upset about Kite still, and he's barely waiting, he's barely waiting for P2 to actually finish with the Kamugi girl. So they go through this like whole fighting thing, they're just kicking, like Kahlua's ass is getting handed to him. Then he goes into this phase where he's talking to Palm, and he's telling Palm that, hey, if you really want to see Gon, why do you want to see Gon? First off, she said, for no reason, I just want to see him. He said, if you really want to see Gon, I need you to do me a favor and tell him that you're okay. Call him by his name for once, say Gon the way you used to, and tell him that you're okay, because he really can't handle it right now. Kahlua goes into this bitch mode, starts crying. This is a first that I realized. I forgot if he cried before. I think he did cry before, but this is a first for me to actually acknowledge it, that he was crying. It's Kahlua of all hell's sake. I'm pretty sure every lightning user inside any freaking anime that's supposed to be like the side nigga, like, like the guy, like for example Sasuke. You know, you got Sasuke and shit from Naruto. You got Enlic from Book of Tutorial or whatever that shit's called. Yeah, they're all supposed to be badasses. Never cried, okay? Except for Enlic, you know, Sasuke cried too, but Sasuke's a little bitch. Enlic cried, you know, girl of his dreams died. That's different, you feel me? But yeah, but basically find out that Poof clone, like you know the little midget Poofs, were there the whole time watching Palm, and he tries to get Palm to hint like, hey, go in and finish him off. He's vulnerable. Palm regains sanity, punches the clone, destroys the clone, and tells Kahlua thank you, and that Kahlua should stop saying that he's not worthy or he's not needed, because he needs to remember that Gon needs him more than anybody else. So that is basically how it ends, but not really, because then it goes to Poof and Yuppie, who are still flying towards the king, and he says that he tells Yuppie that the you know, this experiment didn't go well, and that, you know, soldiers don't need feelings and emotions, or emotions and memories. They don't need that at all, and that this was basically his way of knowing that he's closer to building him and the king a new, you know, him and the king's a new kingdom. Yeah, kingdom. Let's go with that. But that's 124. Great episode. Thought it was dope. Palm is badass. So you already know what I'm about to say. Hadike. I'm about to get out of here. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.